Alright, so change plans. I thought about actually recording putting this back together so you could actually see a literal how-to step-by-step assembly, and then obviously this assembly would be the reverse of it. But I really didn't want to turn my music down long enough and leave it that low for the whole assembly, because I don't know, it took maybe roughly about an hour to put it all together, just mainly because I screwed up one step and had to go back and remove some stuff to fix it, and then two, trying to hold it. I need to buy some Delrin clamps. These aluminum ones I'm sure will mess up the powder coat, but I want to get some Delrin jaws. I have some rubber ones up there, but they won't hold it tight and snug. I wanted something to hold this column steady without damaging the powder. So obviously you see I powder coated it, and it's got fingerprints all over it, so excuse that, but powder coated it black. And I don't know if it's little specks from the paper towel or what. You can see the little dots here and there. You see it in this gloss black powder a lot. I don't know if it's just the quality of the powder. The powder's from Eastwood, or if it's me when I wipe it down with the paper towel. Oh, actually, I don't use paper towel. I use the those wipe all shop towels. When I did a wax and grease, I put it in the oven afterwards to bake off any residues. And I would think any little, lint stuff coming off of the paper towel would burn off in the 400-degree oven that it sits in for, 5 minutes to bake out any oils. But anyways, so it's powder coated black, and obviously it's not cut. So talking to a friend of mine, decided I don't want to cut my $500 tilt ididit column to do what I'm not sure I'm going to be happy with. So I ordered a cheaper column. It's supposedly stainless, which is what I wanted anyways. I didn't want to actually have to powder coat, because if I was putting it in the car and leaving it, I would have probably ordered some gunmetal-ish or silver grayish powder coat, because like I said, the car's not staying black. It will eventually go to baby blue, and the interior dash color might stay black, but it's got all the stainless accents, and I'm wanting to keep it, silver stainless brushed look for everything. So the column would be nice if it was stainless. So just so happens the column I ordered is stainless. It was about 170 bucks off eBay, and it appears to be roughly the exact same design as this, minus slight different things. The shaft is a little bit different design. It's not splined like this, it's a double D shaft. The blinkers assembly inside looks a little different, so I'm sure it's different parts and whatnot. It's not an exact clone or exact copy. But all the knobs and everything are exactly the same. The way the tilt works is exactly the same. It is GM plug still. Instead of it being lengthways, it's this way. Not that that really matters, I don't think, but anyways, so assembly of this. Before I had misquoted the 3 little black screws that are Allen head that hold the blinker assembly in, there was one longer one. I thought that the lower recessed holes were the short ones. That is not correct. The longer screw goes to the hole that gets covered up by the little blinker rocker. So whichever hole that you have to push the blinker assembly out of the way to rock it to be I think it's a left or right turn. So whenever you click it to the turn position to be able to get to that access screw, that's the long one. Obviously when you go to take it apart, you'll figure that out anyways. I couldn't remember when I made the other video, so I misquoted it. Just wanted to correct that. 2, if you missed me going over what tools you need to disassemble one of these. 1, whatever hardware that fits your steering wheel adapter. Mine's this 7/16, and also I think it's the 7/8. Yeah, 7/8 for the big nut. You're gonna want a dugga, a little battery one. You're gonna need some Torx bits. These are T30 and T27. Those are gonna be for the screws that are inside. Now the T27s might not be needed if you're not stripping it down as far as I did. If you don't pull that inner ball socket, which is red Loctited, you won't need the smaller Torx. You'll just need the T30 to pull the upper assembly, this sleeve right here. All this is just a sleeve assembly that covers up all the internal mechanism. So you're gonna need a big screwdriver. There's a large spring that pivots the tilt. It's got a little silver cap on the front with a square hole. You'll just put this in there, push in, and twist it counterclockwise, and it'll come through a little groove, and you can pull that spring assembly out. Then you'll be able to pull out the 2 pins on the side. You'll need this 8 32nd screw, unless you have a small slide hammer. A pair of vice grips to pop on there, a rubber mallet. They come out pretty easy once you take the spring out. You can actually feed a small punch, or I could actually do it with this through the opening once the sleeve is out of the way, and you can actually push them out from through the assembly. You're gonna need a smaller Phillips screwdriver for this blinker arm. You're gonna need a pick for depinning these. Make sure you take a picture of the order, just in case you screwed up and forgot. Here you go, there's the letters, there's the colors. Match them up. You're gonna need a little hammer to use a punch for pins and whatnot. You're gonna need a flush punch, just a small flat tipped. You're gonna need a fine tipped punch, similar to this, for knocking out the roll pins, like what's down here, which is covered up right now. There's another roll pin that's in the shaft. If you need to disassemble that, you'll need that punch again. Needle nose might come in handy for a couple of things, like getting this wire back through this hole. Like I said before, safety wire or some florist wire like that. Don't use twine, don't use string, don't use fishing line, anything that can cut or break easy or snag. You want something smooth and strong. Stainless steel safety wire is perfect. Next, you're gonna need a good pair of ring pliers, or snap ring pliers. These right here, really good. They come with, they're reversible. They come with different tips. You're gonna need whatever size Allen this is. Sorry, I have no freaking clue. They're not labeled and I don't know. That's gonna be for the Allen head screws that hold the blinker assembly. Yours might be Phillips, who knows. Mine were this Allen size, so find the right size Allen you need. Don't know. Next, when you go to reassemble that, I mentioned before, when you go to pull that snap ring off that holds the actual column shaft in, it's got spring tension on that blinker rotor. When you pop that snap ring loose, it's gonna want to shoot up. To get that back on, this was a thing I had to come up with, which they might have recommended something, I don't know. But anyways, get a 2x4. You can see where it's got some indentions down there. Rest the bottom of the shaft on that, because you're gonna be pushing down on it. And if you don't have anything to brace the bottom of this, it's gonna wanna push the shaft down. The shaft is actually held up in place into a socket with that ring clip. So anyways, brace the bottom, get you a 3/4 inch socket, deep socket. It slips over the shaft, and you gotta get the ring clip on the shaft first, get it past the little grooves and notch where it's on the smooth bore section. Slip this over, brace it, and you can actually push it down. You'll hear it snap in place. Give it a couple more good little pushes on it just to make sure it's seated properly, because if that comes loose, well, you're not gonna have a good day. That's what holds your shaft in place. So now, I want to say that's it. I went ahead and greased the crap out of the little ball socket in here, the tilt mechanism, to make sure it's covered. It had some grease on it when I pulled it out. I wiped off, so I re-greased it, and that's pretty much it. I'll end up doing another video come time when my other column comes in, and I disassembled that and start cutting on it. Like I said before, this is a Nissan Versa EPAS. I ordered a Saturn Vue EPAS as well, and I think I went over this in the other video. This Versa EPAS runs in a failsafe. It takes a positive, a ground, and a keyed ignition, or a switched ignition. So switch power positive, turns it on. Once that's on, in failsafe mode, it doesn't detect the PCM, the ECU, etc. to get speed or RPM, anything like that. So it goes into just a partial assist mode. I don't know what that's gonna feel like. So I ordered the Vue one. The Vue one, there's several different modules you can hook to them off eBay. They come with rheostats. There's one that has like a speed sensor. There's one that they call automatic, which from what I read, it bases it off of how much pressure you put on the wheel to how much assist. So if you're just easing on it, like on interstate, it gives slight assist, versus if you're in a parking lot and you're cranking on the wheel, it gives, you know, extra assist for that. Don't know how that'll work. So if I end up not liking this, I'll order another one of these columns I bought, and I will do the Saturn Vue one and see how I like that. I'll end up selling whatever I don't use. This I'll end up selling if someone wants an ididit tilt column, powder coated now, ididit tilt, I reassembled it, should be good to go. I'll end up selling this at Cruising the Coast probably, unless someone else wants it prior to that. But I left this one full length because it is, like I said, it's an ididit, and I got, after talking to my buddy, he ended up talking me out of it, and I'm glad that I did, because I didn't want to cut into it and chop this up. Because like I said, this is an upgrade over your factory steering column for sure, on top of the, you know, the fancy billet knobs, the tilt. It has a collapsible internal shaft, which is a nice, or a huge safety thing. So that's something that your factory steering column does not have. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna start reinstalling this in the car because I wanna be able to drive the car again until I'm done with that column. I'll swap it all out once I get the other one built. And that's it. If y'all have any questions about this, hit me up, let me know. If you wanna see something, let me know. I'll be jumping back on some Holly videos soon. I've got several people on the pages that have wanted some tuning videos, so I'm gonna go back over throttle enrichment, cool enrichment. I've already got the cranking one. I might touch on idle and so on. I already did the phasing video. I didn't really show how to phase rotors, but just kind of talked about what you have to do it, what you look for, and the importance of it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Adios.